there, Lloyd Machedo speaking to you from LloydMachedo.com, who's Lloyd Machedo in Think Personal Branding. Today, the date is February 12th, 2018. Time right now is 11:12 in the night. Okay. First and foremost, if you actually see my room, you see it's a little changed. It's changed because I got all my shelves, I got the guys to put a little bit of varnish because termites were eating into the press wood and all that stuff was there. So I just made sure it was done. So, okay, I hope this is proper. Okay, it's proper? Yeah, okay. So that was number one. The second thing, if you actually notice, the time is 11:13. Normally, if I have my video recording session, it would be at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. So you can make out, my schedule is kind of messed up. And this is primarily because of the Quora, episode. My routine is kind of messed up. So normally it used to be like, get up in the morning after I finish my routine. My first thing is sit on Quora and do 50 to 100 answers, give value to that community that I, thought I would be part of. My goal was 10,000 answers. Now that my goal is disrupted, the goal that I made and the series of actions, so everything is kind of like, shish, now what am I supposed to do after I get up in the morning? Normally I had the Quora thing, then I had interaction with the fans, I had interaction with the followers, people were requesting to be added up to my WhatsApp groups, and everything was centered around that Quora forum, okay, all the contacts, and I was building that up. So now that got disrupted, so obviously there is that hangover, so to say, the aftermath. So I'm just going to share with you the aftermath or the hangover or the symptoms of what all has happened since I got banned. Okay, now first and foremost, I'd like to say a very big thank you to people in my groups. I made these Quora groups because there were so many of them. The funny thing is, after I got banned from Quora, the first thing was many people said, "Oh, Loy, sir," they call me sir, which is okay. I don't mind that, sir. So, and they call out of respect. So, can we appeal and can we ask Quora to bring you back and all that stuff? I just said, no, listen, we don't need that. Okay, forget it. Just let go. Don't need to make any appeal and all that stuff. Okay. The other thing that happened was after I got booted out from Quora, banned from Quora, many people from my group just left. So it's like, oh, my best friends went. Okay, fine. After that, another thing I noticed on Quora, on my groups, that is, many people, I'd given them certain rules, like only speak in English. Many of them started to speak in their native tongues, that is Hindi or whatever. I just kept quiet because I'm just trying to readjust my schedule. So I just thought I'll take 24 hours off and relax. So I've got a lot of these messages from lots of the guys, and then there are still people who are sending me messages. I'd like to be added to your groups from Quora, so they are sending me. And then there were also people who said, we're going to miss you. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate your love. I appreciate your kindness for saying that you would miss me. Many of them said, so why don't you create your own Quora? So I was like, oh yeah, right. Mr. D'Angelo, I'm going to create another Quora. Okay, that's not going to happen. People also said, why don't you appeal and come back again? Which I don't want to. I seriously don't want to. I'm not dependent on Quora like so many others are. I've moved off to Medium, but however, I'm not going to make the same mistake I did on Quora, that is be so dependent on them that in case they remove me, then once again I need to start my strategy from scratch. Okay. Then I also got people who said that let's take revenge against the big old man. Okay. They apparently have this conspiracy that he contacted them and all that stuff. Okay. I told them that's not required. You don't have to take revenge. You don't have to spoil anyone's name. Then there was one particular nice guy in my group, Uncut and Uncensored, who said, it's so amazing that nobody wrote one nice word about you after you got removed. Which I told him, I totally understand that. I mean, none of them are my friends or relatives, or even if they were, I don't expect that because I've gone through. This is only Quora. This is just a website. I've gone through literally being on the streets, not having money, not having food to eat. I lost my career. I lost my finances. I lost my relationship. So I've gone through much more worse than Quora, than just being on a social media website. So, when you don't have your friends, your family, when you don't have money, you are penniless on the street. Now, that is much more serious than not having a Facebook account or a Quora account. So, I've seen the real colors of people, and I didn't expect anyone from Quora to say, oh, why was this alarm? So, it's all right. It's perfect. That is why I keep my relationships, pretty financial. You pay me, I'm your friend. You don't pay me, I'm not your friend. That's as simple as it gets. Also, I want to say thank you to 3 people who sent me a donation. I never expected it. There was this young boy from India, really kind of him. He sent me $5. Don't want to take his name. He just said, sir, I don't have the money to afford to pay you, but I'm just trying to support your channel. So thank you so much. I have extended my friendship to him because, he could have told me good riddance to bad rubbish, all that stuff. But he said, he just thinks that my life is dependent on Quora, so he sent me $5. Thanks a lot. I appreciate, man. I'm going to mentor you for life. So that's between you and me. So I'm not going to reveal who the person was. The other person, I didn't expect this, from France, sent me a good amount. I don't want to say how much is the amount, but he sent me a good amount. Thank you so much. He just said, I just wanted you to know your contributions on Quora were really nice. We're going to miss you, and that's why he's an IT guy, so thank you. And surprise, surprise, another one from Canada, lady. She just said that I changed her life, and she gave me a nice substantial amount, which is kind of more or less like my coaching, if you take like a couple of hours. Once again, don't want to take the name, but thank you. I didn't expect money to come in, but thank you. So these 3 people, I'd just like to say a very big thank you. Then, okay, now this is what I want to share with you. These are some of the links that there's this. I'll give the links below. One is Necrolodge or something. I don't know what is Necrolodge, man. Okay, I'll check it out later. By this gentleman DP. I don't want to take his name once again. He said banned. There is someone named Ross who's banned. There's someone named Said Baruch who's banned, and there's Loy Machedo. And apparently, I've been banned because reasons given multiple policy violations, and that has got 76 upvotes. Thank you very much. Okay, I particularly liked this answer that was given. This was sent by one of my friends. He's my close friend. Why was Loy Machedo banned on Quora? So it was done 23 hours ago. He said, whoever he or she said, I blocked and muted him a long time ago. You need to read this. Really good answer. I'm putting the link down below. Really good answer. I kind of like the answer. I said, the person has said, anonymous, I took a look at his profile, remembered why. Let's see, his content was not my cup of tea. Okay, but why was he banned? And then he said, though I have no interest in reading his stuff, I have no problem with him being on Quora. And then he shares his personal experience where he's actually a professor or something like that. And he had given his views whereby, many people got together and marked his answer down. And even though he's a professor, he's someone who is, an expert on the subject, they collapsed his or her answer. And the funny thing is the person makes money now sharing the same information for a fee. And when he or she was giving it for free, nobody valued it. And then, the person put my video and he said something really funny. That was, could have been short. He's very redundant. 30 minutes is a Family Guy episode. So why was Loy Machedo banned from Quora? Astronomically petty people who need to get a life conspired to get rid of him for one reason or another. I appreciate, I do not know who you are. Thank you so much. You're really kind to put these 2 good words. And then I also got 2 other answers. One said that he's a spam machine. He's a god complex. He's boasting about 12 hours a day. He's another Thai Lopez minus looks. Ooh, okay. And the money. He thinks is $150 is justifiable for a Skype. He has a large circle of men, some children. He lures them for self-promotion. He cheers controversy. 45, I don't know what. Okay, I don't criticize his work. I mean, it takes time and effort, but he spams a lot. Okay, quantity over quantity. I really hate this guy, Loy, for how he thinks we owe him free content. I wish he becomes a meme or that. Call me a sadist, but it will be lucrative for his business. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Whoever, I don't know why they put it anonymous. You can, just show who you are. I'll not hate you. And then, of course, my best friend on Quora, who him and I had this tussle. He says, because karma is a bitch and what goes around comes around. Okay, goodbye. Author of 7.k answers and 83.6 million views. Okay. Now, this is what I got. I got the link from one of my friends. He sent me, this is what had happened. And then there are others who send me links, people who are writers on Quora, contributors. They got banned, so they were bitching about Quora, why Quora sucks. That's one article on Medium. Then there is another article on Medium. This guy is a paid, he's a paid writer. I got permanently banned from Quora, and I'm kind of not sure why. He was the top writer in business. Now he's a writer on Medium. Then there is another person why I got banned on Quora. So a lot of writers who have been banned from Quora have moved on to Medium. Okay, so now apparently there is this article on Adweek, Quora's misogyny problem. Okay, so now these are the people who have been banned on Quora. These are the messages. Now, coming to the withdrawal symptoms and the all the fact that it has affected me a little bit. I'll tell you why it has affected me. Now, you need to understand that whenever I would get up in the morning or in the night or whenever, the first thing I do with a fresh mind is I would sit down after I finish my routine, take my cup of coffee and start hammering off 50 Quora answers. My goal was to reach 10,000 answers. Okay, that was my goal. And obviously, after you have a big goal, you break it down 50 answers every single day. I had even an Excel sheet where I would have a number of questions, answers, the time taken, and I would compare it to, let's say, some of the top writers to see what is the difference. And I do this religiously every day, both from number of questions answered, so I know how many they are answering, number of followers, how many they have, and number of upvotes. So I would do this religiously every single day. Then, apart from that, I would also answer all the emails that I got from Quora, the fans and followers. I would add people, all of them who requested me, add me up in the group. I had a template. I would, divert the traffic to YouTube, those who are asking questions related to YouTube videos, to WhatsApp, to email, to services. So I would particularly guide these people. And then after I finished the answers, I would sit down with my team and discuss, okay, these are my 50 questions for the day, the answers, what do you think? My team is very honest. They would tell me, Loy, they're just average, your votes are dropping. And this was a trend that I saw happening from January onwards. Maybe they changed their policies, which I'm pretty sure they did. I was getting 200 followers per day, and it suddenly reduced to not only 100, it came down to like 50 followers a day. And the funny thing is, before I was not sending so many, I was not answering so many questions. But now when I was doing it religiously, it started dropping. The upvotes started dropping, the followers started dropping. So I was like wondering, why is this? And there are a lot of people who don't, the previous guys who used to answer like 25 to 100 questions per day, some of them even reduced to 0. They were not answering any questions per day. And the number of followers like quadrupled, like they were getting 200 or they were getting 400, even though they were not answering. So I found that really strange. I was like, why are some people getting 200 or 400 followers? So it wasn't like the more questions you answered, the more followers you get. So there was this confusion. And the guy who introduced me to Quora, he told me that he was really against me being on Quora. That is what I found really strange. He said, "You're wasting your time. You're really wasting your time on Quora. It's not worth it. It's become this fish market." And he had his reasons, and he was right, because all the questions that I was getting was related to sex. All the questions that I was getting requests for were relationship. I have this girlfriend. I have this boyfriend. What is the hack? I don't feel like studying. Problem with mother and father. If you actually see my Quora, the last few answers, they're all about, boyfriend, girlfriend, relationships, memory. So I was like, okay, what's happening? And I myself, to be honest with you, I was kind of getting bored of answering the same questions. Before, I would answer all the questions, but then when, people keep asking you the same question over and over again, Lloyd, what book do you recommend? I don't feel like studying. I'm having problems with my parents. I'm having problems with my girlfriends. At some point, you're like, man, I've answered this question already. How many times can I answer the same question? So I would start the frequency by which I was like, choosing not to answer the question. You have that selection pass. I kept pressing more and more, and so I realized that maybe I'm reaching the point of diminishing returns. But it was not yet confirmed. So, and the last three violations that I received, one was responding to emails, giving them a template, and they marked me as spamming other people. The second one was I put up a question, and they said you're violating the some policy for some question. I can't recollect what it is. And then I even put one answer where I was talking about this girl was really fat. I just said she is fat. And because I put she is fat, the question was your most embarrassing or sluttiest moment in your life. And I said, I had sex with this girl who was really very fat. And because I put she's very fat, I got slapped with a, be nice, be respectful violation. So then this sudden ban. Now, it has disrupted my schedule, and I'm not sure, not that I'm not sure. I didn't have a plan. I didn't think I'd actually get banned. So I sat down and I asked myself, okay, so now what do I do? How do I handle this? So the first thing what I did was, I sat down, I took my black book, my black book of ideas, and I wrote down what are the things I need to do now that I'm banned. What do I normally do when Quora was done? I made a list of all the things. And then the second thing obviously was coming out with a new schedule, a new routine. So as of now, it took me some time to write, but eventually I did it. And this is what I've done. I'll just show you. First, what I decided is, I will start off with Medium. And I wrote down all the, if you can actually see, these are all the topics. These are all the topics that I would be writing on. Okay, these are all the ideas. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, these are all the ideas that I'm going to write down for Medium, for YouTube, and for my website. So that's number one. Obviously, I need to figure out the strategy for Medium, the strategy for my website, the strategy for YouTube. I'm also going to start with Facebook Live, more interactions. So that was the first thing. The other thing which I did was I needed to kind of think creatively. So I went outside. I normally don't do this, but I went for a walk with my wife to a shopping mall. There's only one shopping mall in Koh Samui. That is the Central Festival. So it's a very small shopping mall. If you just walk for 20 minutes, you cover the entire shopping mall. It's not like Dubai. You walk for like 8 hours and you cannot finish the shopping mall. So I just walked here and there. I kept writing down the ideas. That's one of my way how I overcome mental blocks. So after I wrote that, I came back home again. I kept writing down ideas. Okay, so now it's primarily going to be Medium. It's going to be my website. It's going to be YouTube. It's going to be Facebook Live. So that's one thing. The other thing was I made it very clear to my friends, followers, and fans: don't spam anyone. Don't badmouth anyone. You don't have to hate the guy. Forget it. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. Quora is not the do-all. I see many people, for them, without Quora, they never existed. Okay, that's why if you check YouTube, you'd see many of them who you check YouTube, why I got banned, or just put Quora ban. you'd see a lot of these really young small boys or small girls saying, I had 1 million views, I had 14 million views, I got banned because I spoke about, I supported Islam, or they wrongfully. So their entire identity is just Quora. They never existed before Quora, and now obviously after Quora, they don't exist. Case in point, this chocolate flavored boy who was based in France, he had this title, Son of Quora or something of Quora, and he just catapulted to popularity. He had 60,000 followers, and he got slapped for plagiarism, and now he doesn't exist. He tried to make a few videos on YouTube, just made 4 or 5, and he vanished. Okay, so unlike them, and I don't want to bitch about the same old guy, but that guy who claims to be the #1 writer was not one, who has 86 million whatever followers or views, or they don't exist outside Quora. They don't exist. For them, Quora is the dual dial. But me, if you Google, you'd find me existing before Quora, because 11 years before I joined Quora, I have constantly put content, even videos and everything else. So I'm not against Quora. I don't depend on Quora. I'm not dying for Quora, and I'm going to survive after Quora. I'll be very honest and upfront with you. Very genuinely, I created a fake account. I just created a fake account just to see, just to browse through, just to get a feel. I created a fake account through VPN. I just created the account, and I just checked. It's the same old thing. It's the same old questions. Before I used to take creative ideas from there. I didn't answer any question. I didn't ask any question. I just browsed through, and then I said, okay, fine, that's it. And I just logged out. I didn't do anything there. So I just went through the process. So it's, I think the biggest challenge for me, the biggest challenge has been creating a new goal, okay, because I had these, I had this goal, 10,000 answers on Quora. So now Quora doesn't exist. So I need to transfer that goal. So I'm going to I've not been very specific. It's very important for me to be specific with a number and a duration. So I'm going to come out with a number and duration for my website, a number and duration for YouTube, a number and duration for Medium, and as well as Facebook Live. So I need to come out with a specific goal first, okay, with a time-bound target. And then I need to have a new routine that I will do every single day. So that is important. So once after I get both these things sorted out, then I would know how to deal with my groups, because now obviously the dynamics have changed. I used to keep asking people upvotes, and now I don't need upvotes. So I need to transfer this. And yes, I don't want to repeat the same mistakes that I did on Quora. I don't want to repeat it, and I just want to make sure that the strategy is in sync with my brand. So yeah, so these are the things that are currently in my mind. And apart from that, I just sort out my room. I took 1 day off, so that's why I've slowed down a little bit. Once I get the strategy, it's going to be full blast. I'm going to put up another video where you know my strategy. So I'm not upset about the guys who are glad that I'm gone. I mean, some of them have sent these hate mails, like they said his YouTube channel is filled about misgivings about Quora, plus he got into a big problem with whomsoever. That guy was willing to forgive him, but Loy kept discrediting him. It's like an obsession. Then some other says, I muted Loy. I blocked the hell out of him. He came up with those made-up abominations then and now. One other one said, I'm glad I'm not the only one who disliked Loy's point, to the point of muting. Then one other female says, LOL, I think he's the first person I wanted to keep out of my feed for some reason. Quora was heavily pushing him. No, Quora was not pushing me. Then another female said, I love how he get thousands of followers, yet his answers got 50 upvotes a piece. Then one other female, or me, I can't get this. His answers were blatant untruths and ridiculous self-promotion. Well, obviously, I'm online, I have to promote myself. Before, I muted him at 1K followers, now he had 55K followers. Apparently, he was rude, obnoxious. So, anyway, I'm glad that my haters are very happy. They're celebrating. It's good. Thank you very much. Not that it matters. Only thing is, I'm going to get more aggressive on my YouTube channel. I'm going to get more aggressive on my website. I'm going to get more aggressive in terms of Facebook Live, interacting with the guys, and Medium, yes. So as of now, not yet thought the strategy. Once I think of the strategy, I would let everyone know. So yeah, so that's it. I think in another few more days' time, Quora is going to be out of the system. I would check Quora from time to time just to see if I can get any ideas for using it on my website. Apart from that, there's no hard feelings. There's no hard feelings with Quora. There's no hard feelings with these guys. As long as we were competitors, that we had this bad blood. But now that we're gone, it's finished. Bye bye. Everyone's happy. You can be the number one on Quora. Be the greatest there. Have 100,000 followers for one-line answers. But on Medium, I'm going to put, like I said, worthwhile content, 2,000 to 3,000 words, or 1,000 words at least. But I would put value-added content. My first goal is obviously I'm going to shoot off 50 worthwhile articles and 50 worthwhile videos and 50 worthwhile articles for my website. That's the primary goal. But like I said, once I decide what it's going to be, it's going to choose. Just want to say a big thank you to the people who gave me donations. Want to say a big thank you to the people who send me these few words of support. Want to thank my teams for whatever work we achieved on Quora. It was great as long as it lasted. To the people who just left my groups, that's great because I don't want fake followers. Many of them are there just for spying or whatever. And to all those other people who have sent me requests to be added up to my groups, I'm sorry I didn't necessarily answer your queries. I'm going to do it now after uploading this video. So like I said, stay tuned for those who are interested. Those are not, thank you very much. And the next video, whenever the next video comes, is going to be the specific targets that I have and my new strategy post Quora. So, bye from Machedo.com. Who's my Mr. Think Person Branding saying goodbye for now. Take care. Right, I'm needing my coffee. Taste shit. Okay. Take care. Bye.